At last year's trade deadline, we saw Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving get traded. And this year, we saw Bojan Bogdanovic and Spencer Dinwiddie get traded. It was a big downgrade. So today, I'm here to make some more interesting trade deadline moves. These might not all be the most realistic moves, but I'm in the mood to see some trades, so we're gonna do some today. First off, I think it's a shame that the Lakers and the Warriors made no moves at the deadline. That makes no sense. And there have been rumblings about LeBron potentially wanting out of LA, so guess what? He's going to Golden State to play with Steph. Andrew Wiggins, Brandon Pajemski, GP2, Moses Moody, and Kevon Looney are all involved in this trade for Golden State, and the Warriors are going to add a star in LeBron James. Lakers get some young pieces for a guy in LeBron who is on an expiring deal. Like I said, don't expect these trades to be ultra realistic, but I want to make some big moves today. And you know, if the Lakers are gonna trade Bron, they might as well trade AD. And I have a really interesting landing spot for him. A team that was very active today was the New York Knicks. They made some nice moves, adding guys like Bojan Bogdanovic to their roster. They also added Alec Burks. But the big conversation as the Knicks were making all those moves was the fact that they still have like 8 first-round picks to work with. And no disrespect to Julius Randle, but he's been known to sell in the playoffs. So we're going to be getting rid of Randle, sending him back to Los Angeles, and sending AD over to New York. And I want the Lakers to get their hands on a lot of draft capital in a move like this. I mean, it only makes sense, right? It's Anthony Davis. So the package is going to be Josh Hart, Julius Randle, and then a bunch of first round picks. I just filled up the trade with as many picks as it would allow me to. It might take even more than this in real life, but it's whatever. There's the trade. I was actually really disappointed that Orlando didn't make a move. And on that same note, I was disappointed in what Brooklyn did. I thought it was probably time to try and get some assets for some of the guys on their team, but instead they went out and got Dennis Schroeder, I guess. But I think it would have been really interesting if the Magic would have went after a guy like Mikal Bridges. Bridges could have been a two-way threat, a guy who could score the ball at a very high level for their team. And the Magic have a lot of draft capital to work with, and I don't think these Magic picks are going to be super valuable. I expect this team to be good, so we're going to throw the Nets 4 first-round picks and bring Mikal Bridges to Orlando. Also, talking a little more about Brooklyn, Nick Claxton is a guy who's set to become a free agent this offseason, and I actually liked OKC's deadline. I mean, going and getting Gordon Hayward was pretty cool, right? But there were conversations about the potential of adding a player like Nick Claxton. And I mean, the Thunder, they're so good. They have a lot of picks. Why wouldn't they pursue something like that? I mean, already the salaries match between Clax and Poku. And then if we just have OKC get deep in their bag of draft picks, this trade looks pretty good, I think. So welcome to Oklahoma City, Nick Claxton. I ended up including 4 firsts in that deal. The Pelicans, they were in conversations to go out and get Dejounte Murray, and I want to make that happen for them. I think he'd be a really cool fit on this Pels team. Now, how do we make this work financially? It's probably Larry Nance Jr. and Dyson Daniels. That way the Hawks get a young, valuable piece. I'm also going to have the Pelicans include 1 first-round pick, and this is a done deal. I wanted San Antonio to go out and get Wembanyama a point guard. Unfortunately, they didn't do that. But don't worry, that's where GM Danny steps in right now. We're going to send Jerami Sohan, Malachi Branham, and Vontae Graham over to the Hawks in exchange for Trae Young. We're also going to include some draft capital. We won't include our pick this year, obviously, because that pick is going to be insane. But I will include a pick from San Antonio that is a couple years down the line, maybe 2027. Here's the trade package. Trae Young to San Antonio. Let's get it. I really wish the Portland Trail Blazers would have maybe looked to trade away Malcolm Brogdon or Jeremy Grant, one of the two. But they were pretty quiet this deadline. I'm here to change that though. I really liked Philly's pickup of Buddy Hield. I mean, they got him for pretty cheap in that trade. But I think Philadelphia could be a really interesting Jerami Grant team. I mean, the Blazers, they signed Grant to that super long-term deal, which might have made it harder for them to trade him. But I think Grant brings a lot of value as a wing guy, and like Nick Batum is cool, but Jerami Grant is just so much better. And the Sixers have picks that they can work with, so I'm gonna throw a first rounder and a couple seconds in here, and we're gonna bring Jerami Grant to Philadelphia. And as much as I would have liked to trade Malcolm Brogdon, honestly, I just couldn't figure out a good team for him, so we're not going to do that. And that wraps it up for the Danny 2K trade deadline. Let me know in the comments section, did y'all like the real life trade deadline more or the Danny 2K trade deadline? I know which one I prefer. But in all seriousness, if you're enjoying this video so far, I'd really appreciate if you consider subscribing. We're trying to hit 100K by the end of the year. Season is wrapped. Giannis ends up winning the MVP award. Wembanyama, Rookie of the Year. Russell Westbrook, Sixth Man. Wemby also wins DPOY. And Jalen Johnson is named Most Improved. KD wins Clutch Player of the Year. And of course, the greatest coach ever, coaching mastermind, Doc Rivers, wins Coach of the Year. Here are your All-NBA teams. Trae and Wemby, the new duo, made it on the All-NBA second team. And checking out the standings in the Eastern Conference, it was Milwaukee at number 1. They are a great basketball team. That's why I didn't make any trades for them. Boston came in at 2. Again, this is just another really good team. The Cleveland Cavaliers were at 3. They've been red hot as of late. The Sixers, with the Jerami Grant pickup, went out there and hooped. They were the 4 seed. The Miami Heat ended up coming in 5th. And then in the Western Conference, you had the Minnesota Timberwolves at number 1. The Clippers were at 2. What an incredible team, and they've been so good this year. The Thunder, with their pickup of Nick Claxton, end up as the 3 seed. And before we get to the playoffs, let me actually change some around for OKC. We're going to move Chet over to the 4, and then we'll have J-Dub play small forward where he goes up to an 87. That way they can have their best guys starting. Anyways, back to the standings. The Pelicans were in 4th with their new addition of Dejounte Murray. And then Phoenix came in 5th just because, you know, they're the Suns. They did end up picking up Royce O'Neal. And surprisingly, the Warriors, after the LeBron pickup, were in the play, and they were tied with the Lakers in terms of record. I don't know how that happened. But let's go ahead and get into these playoffs. The Warriors didn't make it in with Bron and Curry. All right, whatever, dude. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get into it. Denver was 8th. I didn't even notice that either. We've got some weird stuff going on in these playoffs. But if we end up getting any Game 7s, I'll be sure to tune in. Out in the Eastern Conference, we've got a Game 7 between Cleveland and Chicago. It was a controversial decision by the Bulls to go out there and say, you know what, we're not making any trades this year, but I guess it might end up working out for them right here against the Cavs. And wow, it looks like Chicago's gonna get a big dub here against Cleveland. Man, you just gotta trust in Andre Drummond. Next up, we got a Game 7 between Philly and Miami. The Sixers with their new pickup of Jerami Grant, and the Heat also recently made that pickup of Terry Rozier. And it looks like in this one, it's going to be Philly, led by Joel Embiid winning. Oh my gosh, he's been averaging 18 rebounds a game. That is insane. But guess what? We're not done with Game 7s. We've got 3 more to go. First off, we got to check out this one between the Mavs and the Thunder. Dallas ended up picking up Gafford at the deadline. They also picked up PJ Washington. They were one of the more active teams this year at the trade deadline, and we'll see if that pays off for them. Of course, in my NBA universe, we ended up making a trade for Nick Claxton to head to OKC, and it looks like Claxton and the Thunder are going to come out on top. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 44, Claxton had 5 and 10. He's not really a scoring guy, but he is going to go out there and block shots for you at a high level, rebound the ball at a high level as well. And the Thunder end up getting past the Dallas Mavericks as Luka has a 19-point game, uncharacteristic of him. Next up, we got Phoenix taking on New Orleans. The Pels, with their new addition of Dejounte Murray, looking to stay alive against a really good Phoenix team. And it looks like the Pelicans are going to go down. Zion Williamson tried his hardest. Dejounte kind of had a mid-performance, and they end up losing. Now we've just got one more Game 7. Boston versus New York. Oh, man, I forgot about the Knicks. Their big pickup of Anthony Davis might just pay off if they can get past the juggernaut Celtics. We've got a close one here between New York and Boston. It is a 3-point game with about 2 minutes to go. Jason Tatum has it. He's defended by Bogdanovic. The Knicks, with their new addition of AD, are looking to make it to the second round. Ball's going to go out to Derek White. White swings it to Drew Holiday. Holiday gives it down to JT. Tatum down to Holiday, and he finds him in the dunker spot. A nice pass from JT to Drew. New York has the ball now. It's going to go to Anthony Davis in the post. He's working on Tatum. He's going to fake a couple times. He swings it out to OG Anunoby. Anunoby is defended by Jaylen Brown. He finds Brunson wide open under the basket, and Brunson's going to score on a cut of his own. Drew Holiday scored on the cut on JB on the last play, and JB got him right back. Jason Tatum is defended by Anthony Davis here. Davis is one of the best defenders in the league. Screen's going to come from KP. JT had some room, but he ends up missing it. Now it's rebounded by Mitchell Robinson. Money Mitch going to give it over to Jalen Brunson. Now it finds its way to Dante DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo going to get the screen from Robinson and give it back to Brunson. Brunson backing down to Holiday. Not exactly the best decision because Drew can defend. It goes back out to DiVincenzo. Shot clock starting to wind down. DiVincenzo gets the screen. He's going to pull and he knocks it down. That shot did not look good on the way out of his fingertips, but Dante hit it. He's got 10 points in the fourth. Jason Tatum going to fake on Anthony Davis. And now it goes down to Brown. Brown defended by Anunoby. It goes back to JT for a three and Tatum hits it. The Celtics staying alive in this one. They're within 3 with less than a minute to go. Let's see if Brunson has an answer for New York. He's been really good in the clutch for the Knicks throughout this season. Brunson is defended by Holiday. He's going to swing it down to Davis. Davis has the size advantage on Tatum. Gives it back to Brunson though. Brunson back to Davis. Davis over to Anunoby. Anunoby's going to have to shoot. It goes to Robinson. Robinson puts up the tough shot and misses. The Celtics have a chance with the clock ticking under 30 seconds. They need a 3 to tie this one. Tatum out to a wide open Porzingis and he misses. I can't believe Porzingis blew that. And now Jalen Brunson is going to the line for New York. Oh wait, they're not going to the line just yet as the Knicks aren't in the bonus. But the Celtics just blew an absolutely huge chance right there. I mean, they could have tied this game up if Porzingis hit that 3. But instead, Brunson's shooting some foul shots. First one is good. Second one for Brunson is also cash, giving the Knicks a 5-point lead as the Celtics burn their last time out. Celtics down by 5 here, kind of in need of a miracle if they want to stay in this game. Brown gets the screen from Porzingis. JB gonna try and get to the basket, but Anunoby is playing some incredible defense. He finds White open for a 3, and Derek White knocks it down. It looked like the Celtics were out of hope just a second ago, but if Brunson misses a foul shot, they'll have a chance. First one for Brunson is good. Second one for JB is also good. He's just got ice in his veins. It might be over with for Boston. Holiday bringing up the ball here, swings it to White. White gonna fake and pull. He misses, and that is going to do it. The Knicks, behind their new addition of Anthony Davis, end up winning in the first round against the juggernaut Celtics. Jason Tatum drops a 40 ball. It's not going to be enough. Brunson 33 and 10, AD 24. And finally, all of our second round matchups are set after a plethora of game 7s. In round 2, we've got the Nuggets taking on the Phoenix Suns. We've got Oklahoma City taking on Los Angeles. And then in the Eastern Conference, it's going to be Philly versus Indiana. The Pacers were the 8th seed. They upset the 1-seeded Bucks. And the Nuggets were the 8th seed. They upset the number 1-seeded Timberwolves. The Lakers were the 7th seed. They upset the 2-seeded Clippers. The Knicks were the 7th seed. And they beat the 2-seeded Celtics. I don't know what is going on in these playoffs. But speaking of the Knicks, they're moving on to round 2 to face the Chicago Bulls. And who would have thought Chicago makes their way to the conference finals in a sweep against New York? I didn't even make any moves for their squad, but they're out here hooping. Phoenix takes care of Denver in 6 games, and Philly does the same to Indiana, meaning that in the Western Conference, we've got Oklahoma City versus Phoenix, and in the East, it's going to be Philly versus Chicago. I did not expect Chicago to make it this far. But apparently Chicago's got a lot of fight in them. We're headed to a game 5 between Philly and Chicago. This is a big one for the series. It could shift all the momentum. And it looks like Philadelphia got the memo going into this game as they got a big win. Jerami Grant, the new addition, 39 points. He was only averaging 14 for the playoffs, but he said, I got y'all in this one. Levine tried his best with 43, but it wasn't enough. And now in the Western Conference, we've got a big game 5 coming up. Phoenix versus Oklahoma City. And it looks like the Suns are going to get this win. I didn't make any moves for them in this video, but they went out and got Royce O'Neal in real life, and I guess that move's paying off. He's a starter for them. Now let's see if Philadelphia can finish the job out east against the Chicago Bulls, or if the Bulls will be able to stay alive. This Chicago team is apparently something special. Despite Embiid dropping 34 and 20, they're still hooping. So we've got a game 7 coming up in the East. But out West, we've got a game 6 between Phoenix and OKC. And the Suns are going to go down in this one. Bradley Beal with 39, but it's not enough as Kevin Durant only has 9 points and Shea goes off for 40. Was that Gordon Hayward with a smooth 26? All right, Gordon. So now in both conferences, we've got game 7. Chicago versus Philly, game 7 coming up. And it looks like Philadelphia is going to finish the job. Oh, why did they pick this man up? But Philly does go ahead and get the dub. They're moving on to the finals. Now we've got one more game 7 to tune into. We've had about a million game 7s in these playoffs so far. And it looks like Oklahoma City is punching their ticket to the NBA Finals. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's been getting buckets in these NBA playoffs. His Thunder are going on to the finals, and they're taking on Philadelphia. Joel Embiid is a 99 right now. Let's get into it. Game number 1 of the series goes to the Sixers. Game 2 to OKC. Game 3 also goes to OKC, and we're all tied up after 4 games. This game 5 is going to be huge for the momentum of the series, so let's see who comes out on top. Man, OKC is making a lot of noise in these playoffs. They get another win and beat at 31, and Shea kind of had an off night, but it didn't matter as the Thunder get a win. They just need one more to be crowned NBA champions. We've got a 3-point game here in game 6. Philly is looking to force game 7. They've got the lead. Ball goes down to Embiid in the post. He misses, grabs his own board, and puts it up and in. Philadelphia gonna gain a 5-point lead here with about 47 seconds to go. And right now, Shea is not checked in for OKC. Did he foul out? Yeah, he did. Nick Claxton gonna give it into Josh Giddey. Giddey gonna swing it over to Holmgren. Chet Holmgren is defended by Tobias Harris. This is a mismatch. Holmgren fakes, goes up for the layup and hits it. Now all the Thunder really need is a stop and a 3-pointer. I know that's easier said than done, but they've got a chance here. DeAnthony Melton is defended by Joe. It goes down to Embiid in the post. Embiid, great defense from Clax. And the rebound is secured. Here's the Thunder's chance. They can go for 3 to tie this game up. Joe has it, defended by Melton. He's going to swing it to Chet, who's open, and Holmgren knocks it down. Chet scores 5 straight points for OKC, and we're all tied up. Headed into the timeout, 17 and a half seconds to go. Philly's new addition, Jerami Grant, is inbounding. It's going to go into Maxey. Maxey is defended by Josh Giddey, and it looks like the Sixers are holding for the last shot here. Screen's going to come from Embiid, and Embiid's rolling to the basket. Maxey finds him, and Embiid gets the layup to go. That's why Embiid's one of the best in the world. He comes up with a big play in the clutch. Only 5.8 seconds to go, and the Thunder are going to need a bucket. They could go for 3 and try and win this, or they could go for 2 and force overtime. Clax gives it into Josh Giddey. Giddey down to Holmgren. Chet, post fade, and it's good! Chet Holmgren ties this game up. Only 1.5 seconds to go. Desperation heave from the Sixers is off. Chet Holmgren has been electric for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and we've got more basketball. Overtime is coming up. And in overtime, the game has remained close. 22 seconds to go, and we're all tied up. Thunder can hold for the last shot. Clax on the inbound is going to go to Chet Holmgren, of course. Holmgren has been so great for OKC. Holmgren's going to slow it down. The point center looking to make a play to win this game and the championship for his squad. He'll probably be making his move very soon. Here it goes. Screen comes from Clax. Chet Holmgren going to pull the 3 ball, and he misses. We're going to double OT. And in double overtime, Oklahoma City took complete control of the game. They end up winning. Joel Embiid, 43, 24, and 8, but it's not enough as the Thunder win this one. SGA is named Finals MVP. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.